Hello everyone, this is Jazz, and today we're making an attractive mob spawner. Here are the items you need to make the mob spawner, and you can see I've started the base already. The chest, the hoppers, and the slabs. You can see, just a quick pan out, this is the map, and this is where the city is currently growing. But over here, this is where we're making the mob spawner, away from everything else. We started the first build, and we're going up from that first level up by 22 blocks. And you can see that I've been using stone bricks for the edges and stone stairs for in-betweens. This shadow gap adds a little bit more detail and makes it a little bit more interesting as you go up the build. So once you get to the top, from that point you'll go out by 8 blocks, which makes this a total of 9 blocks. At the end you make a 2-block high wall, and then you fill in these bits in between. These channels here will become the water channels. As you can see, the water's there, and this allows mobs to then flow down in and fall down this hole. I'm filling in these sides over side and making it 2 blocks high so that the mobs will fall in and into the water and they'll fall down the hole in the middle. You can see I'm filling in these little bits in between with stone so that underneath it looks a little bit more appealing, and the edges are made out of stone bricks, which highlights the structure of the build. Filling in these edges, and these are the 4 different platforms. You can see I'm just adding a 2-block high wall around the edges, but you can choose to make this 3 blocks high if you want enderman as well. Now I'm making the second tier, which allows me to have the channels again. I'm building up the structure outside, and then this is basically the floor level that I'm going to build the stone bricks on. I'm filling in the outside, but currently it's stone bricks with stone in between. You can see underneath it shows the channels that are kind of currently recessed below the floor plate in which the mobs spawn on. This is the next level. I've started to fill this bit in with cobble because you won't actually see this from the outside. You can use any material you want, but this just allows me to make a more appealing build. Now I'm just rebuilding the build, make it 2 blocks high, but this time I'm thinking, do I add a little bit more detail? So what I've done is the center point, I've done andesite, polished andesite as the central element, and then in the middle I'll put granite. And then on the sides, you'll probably see in a second here, I've put stone stairs, as this allows a little bit of a shadow gap detail in the flat face of the build. You can see the ground floor currently has, it's a little bit dark, you can see the ground floor is currently just stone and stone bricks, but I'll work up a detail on the current level and then replicate it downwards. You can see this andesite, polished andesite in the central element between the 2 structural stone bricks, and then I've started to fill in the stone stairs in between so it breaks up the andesite and the stone bricks. I'm now currently just creating a quick platform around it, so that way in future I could fly around and land on top of the build and kind of make it maybe a sort of a structure that this could hold up, and maybe make this kind of like part of the castle walls that will go eventually around the islands. You can see I've placed that granite between the polished andesite, you can see here, and then in these little gaps here I'll make it stone stairs. So you can see 2 stone stairs, then you've got the polished andesite with stone underneath, and then another gap of 2. You can see there's current graphical glitches which keep cutting off the edges. You can see I'm basically cutting this down, and you can see I've put 2 blocks high. And then you can see that I'll replicate the floor above on the same floor. You can currently see that I've lit it up with torches for mobs to not spawn, but you need to make sure once you finish with each floor to take out these torches, because otherwise mobs won't spawn. As you can see, I'm basically just following out these stone bricks and using that as a structural frame for the build, filling in these edges with the grey andesite and these granite that allows it to be broken up. Currently placing all the different trapdoors, which is 1 stack is 64 trapdoors on each floor level, Once you've placed it down, you can see that they're currently all just floor leveled, but then you'll have to then open it all up once you've built the whole floor. This floor level I've basically put in to make it a 2 block high inside, but if you wanted to make it with enderman, you make it by 3 blocks high. You can see that's the second floor done and filled in, and then I plan to build a third one on top. You can see the current design here, where you've got the stone stairs and you've got the andesite and the red brick as well. But you're free to use any materials. You could change it up, you could change the slight design, but this gives you an idea of what you can do with the grid and the frame of the build. As you can see, I'm replicating this upper floor, and then I'm filling in the side walls to make it kind of a lot more simpler and prettier. And then I'm basically filling in the floors and lighting it up so that no spiders or anything fill into that floor level. And then once that's done, I will basically put the trapdoors all the way around, you can see. And then you have to make sure once I've built them all, you place them in and then you open them up so that mobs believe their blocks are there, so they walk onto it and then fall down the hole. This means that the 2 upper floors, the mobs will fall and hit and the items will be buried, whilst the ground floor of the build means they'll drop in and you can then kill those mobs for resources. I'm currently filling in, I put some slabs in and I'll have to put on each floor level because the slabs will prevent any spiders from spawning inside, and this in turn means that they won't get stuck in the corners of the build and hiding away from it, and then you'll get more mobs spawning inside. You can see that I've currently basically filled the top floor levels with the stone stairs and the different materials, trying to build a sort of cantilevered element you could walk around the edges. You can see here I'm panning inside. We'll just pop inside for a second because I had to go inside, and this is where we've put the floor slabs down on the floor, making it 2 blocks high, and then I filled it back up again. And now we're here just looking at, I need to do some final tweaks to the build, but you can see in the day what it looks like externally. You can see the different materials that I put in, how the stairs add depth to the flat face of the build, and you can see the kind of the way I've broken it up with these structural stone brick columns and then putting that sort of level of detailing. See, panning in, you can see how the light reflects from inside the build from these little stone steps. That's the end of the build, and there's only little tweaks in that I will hopefully eventually do off screen. But if you guys enjoyed the video and have any comments, please feel free to note them in below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and goodbye.